The elven afterlife is almost universally a miserable experience. Without the protection of waystones or the mystic power of Athaloran, most elven souls are captured and consumed by Slaanesh upon their death. She who thirsts hungers for the souls of elves above all others, and will go to great lengths to feast upon them. Even if an elf soul somehow manages to avoid Slaanesh's gaze, unprotected elven souls are gathered by the shadowy Rephalim and brought to Mirai, the elven underworld. There they serve at the behest of Arith Kial, the Pale Queen of the Dead, bolstering her ghostly legion until she is ready to overthrow Asurion and take his place at the head of the elven pantheon. Until that day, however, the gateway between life and death must remain tightly sealed. The dead cannot be allowed to escape Mirai and thereby diminish Arith Kial's forces, nor can mortals, demons, or undead be allowed to intrude upon her domain and learn the secrets of the fallen. To prevent either escape from or intrusion into her realm, the Pale Queen has charged her son, Nethu, with guarding the final border between life and death. None enter or leave Mirai save by his permission, and he does not give it lightly. Nethu, also known as the Keeper of the Last Door, or simply as the Doorkeeper, takes his duties seriously. He guards the gates of Mirai from a dark fortress at the realm's threshold, and his heavy iron key is the only known way to open them. A host of dark Pegasi are said to aid him in guarding the gates, perching on the castle's battlements like equine gargoyles. Their majestic appearance is at odds with their savage nature, however, as these Pegasi are voracious flesh-eaters. They'll gleefully descend from the heavens to feast upon any who defy Nethu's will or try to breach the barrier between life and death. To make matters worse, their shadowy maws can devour soul stuff as easily as they do living flesh. This makes the Dark Pegasi excellent guardians for the gates of Mirai, as they're as dangerous to spirits trying to escape the Black Pit as they are to mortals trying to enter it. In addition to his iron key and the Pegasi Guardians, Nethu carries a silver harp that can rip elven souls from their bodies. This is a formidable weapon, one that the Keeper of the Last Door uses to torment the living when he's not guarding the Black Pit. He's not noted as carrying any specific weapons, but with a harp that can steal a creature's soul, traditional armaments hardly seem necessary. As with all mythical guardians of the Underworld, Nethu is not infallible. There are legends of elves tricking the Keeper of the Last Door, sneaking past his Dark Pegasi guardians, and learning the secrets of the dead. Nethu is also said to open the gates of Mirai if presented with suitable tribute to Arith Kial. It's unclear what exactly this tribute consists of, but considering Arith Kial's voracious nature, the price is likely higher than all but the most ambitious, crazed, or desperate of petitioners would be willing to pay, and even then it might be too much. As befits such a sinister deity, Nethu is a member of the Sithari, and predominantly worshipped by the Dark Elves of Naggaroth as a result. The Druchi use his power to curse High Elves, and their spies on Ulthuan have been known to carve runes of Nethu on door frames, pillows, and anywhere else they're unlikely to be detected. This nefarious practice requires secret knowledge, and is usually reserved for use against important Aesir dignitaries, but the results are devastating. The runes bewitch those nearby, infusing their bodies and souls with a draining ennui. Madness, followed by death, often at their own hands, is almost inevitable. Even Phoenix Kings aren't completely safe from this affliction. It is believed that Malekith used Nethu's power to torment the dreams of Morvael, the 9th Phoenix King, during his time on the throne. This aggravated the already sensitive Aesir king, and may be one of the reasons Morvael took his own life. Nethu's role as a guardian of the dead can also be invoked in more beneficial, or at least less harmful, ways as well. Rites of Nethu let elves commune with the deceased. Considering that the living aren't allowed to learn the secrets of the dead, these rites likely don't let the fallen talk about their current status. Anything else is fair game, though. This can let grieving loved ones talk with the deceased to get closure, though it has obvious military applications as well. Enemies can be interrogated, or even tormented, beyond the grave. Additionally, Dark Elves believe that amulets of Nethu can protect them from disease. These grisly ornaments are made of bones bound in sinew. This puts Nethu in direct opposition to Nurgle, though his comparative power is so small that the Plague Lord likely doesn't give him too much thought, if any at all. During the End Times, the ancient celestial war between Khaine and Asurion was relived once more, this time in the mortal realm. the great heroes and villains of the elven races took on the roles of certain deities, wittingly or unwittingly acting as their predecessors had millennia ago in the heavens. Tirion, the dragon of Kothik, succumbed to the curse of Khaine within his veins, while Malekith took his spot as Asuryan's representative in the growing conflict. The role of Nethu was played by Imric of Caledor, and we can glean some of what Nethu did in the first war amongst the gods from Imric's horrified realization at this. While exact details are sparse, Imric remarked that Nethu opened a door, presumably the last door which he was supposed to keep. Opening this door is universally regarded as a betrayal amongst all elven cultures, but some believe it prevented an even greater disaster. Imric doesn't seem to believe that it did, remarking that the door shouldn't have been opened. He may have just been reacting poorly to discover he was playing the role of a traitorous deity in a divine play, however, and this can't be viewed as a universally accepted high elven belief. Like the rest of the elven pantheon, Nethu's representation in Total War Warhammer is fairly minimal. While Dark Elves seem to revere him the most in lore, only the Wood Elves mention the Keeper of the Last Door, and even then, only in campaign. He's part of the Wood Elf tech tree, about midway through the Sithari portion of it. The technology that bears his name is a bit of a detour, locked behind the Eldrazi technology despite the two seemingly having no connection in the lore. When researched, it grants all elf units plus 5 leadership, plus 10% post-battle loot, and plus 15% magic item drop chance faction-wide. I'm not exactly an expert player, but this technology is decidedly lackluster at first glance. Elves are already high leadership units. Plus 10% post-battle loot is nice, but highly dependent on how much you're fighting, and plus 15% magic item drop chance is alright, but not reliable. At least it has tangential crossover with Nethu's divine duties. The post-battle effects could be viewed as the Wood Elves becoming better battlefield scavengers, using his knowledge to pick over the dead and dying for their valuables. Still, it's not what I'd call a high-priority technology, and you can safely skip it until you've researched pretty much everything else you want. That brings us to the end of our overview of Nethu. He's not exactly the heaviest hitter in the Elven Pantheon, and for the most part he's overlooked in favor of flashier deities like Khaine, Asuryan, or Isha. If you don't routinely immerse yourself in this stuff, you'd be forgiven for not even knowing he exists in the first place. Still, the hints that we see from the end times suggest that he plays a pivotal role in Elven mythology. Who did he betray? The Cat-Eye, Sithari, or both? How did this influence the war between the gods? How did this relate to Imric siding with Malekith in the end times? I wish we could get a legend series surrounding the primordial war between the elven gods, if only to answer some of these questions. Also, it's not in the lore, but I think units devoted to him have some real tabletop or Total War possibilities. A regiment of Dark Elf Spirit Hunters mounted on Dark Pegasi taking the fight to those who would steal from Mirari? That sounds awesome, and hopefully Games Workshop is listening. It would also give the Dark Elves a meaningful air force besides Manticores and Black Dragons, which would be nice. That's all I have for today though. As always, thank you to my wonderful patrons, Emmy, Golden Gander, and Unknown. Your support is deeply appreciated. Until next time, this has been Sigmar's Chosen, signing off for now.